It only takes a second.
I'm a mother who lost her unique child and failed lose her stepchild in a crash near Mtito Andei in Kenya. Imagine 1 second that could happen to you.
Starting from the point of the crash, that people that were trying to help you out are people that were not qualified. And I know that I had been belted. I was sitting back middle. I was belted with a seat belt. And I know that people also trying to pull me out without removing the belts.
Since the accident happened, I've really had major challenges. First of all, there was the issue of coming to terms with the new realization that I would not be able to walk again. There was now the issue now of thinking what to do with my life.
If I had fastened the seat belts, which were not there, I could not have sustained those injuries.
The Vlad Danciu Memorial Foundation came into being following the death of 17-year-old Vlad, who died following a grisly road accident along Mombasa-Nairobi Highway on 25th of August 2008.
Because what happened 10 years ago, I created this charitable foundation in memoriam of my son and all the victims of the road crashes.
Every year, thousands of lives are lost from road accidents on Kenyan roads, devastating both the accident victims and their families.
Immediately after the accident, I lost my consciousness. And I found myself in a wheelchair at Thika Government Hospital. I really didn't have a lot of injury, except that I hadn't worn my safety belt.
The Nissan was speeding. The speed was ranging around 100 kilometers per hour. It hit a tire burst. It started roaring towards the river. Now I was just wondering, when will I ever reach down to settle? I became unconscious.
I remember I was told when we got the accident, some people were lifting me up. They never knew what they should do to me. So they worsened my situation and my injury. I stayed in an hospital for around 1 year. Yeah, then I was discharged.
The driver fell asleep, and my son, and also in the car was my stepson, Cyprian. They were very, very bad injured.
After the accident, we've been driven to the nearest hospital, and we waited for help there for 4 hours. Vlad survived the initial crash, but he wasn't able to make it up to the moment when the flying doctors arrived to get us to the hospital. This was really due to the fact that there was no support. For 4 hours staying there, there is no ambulance, nothing to come and pick us up and get us to a hospital equipped with a trauma care. There was no doctor around. A couple of nurses who did their best in trying to deal with the wounds. And yet, 17-year-old, very healthy, powerful guy, he wasn't able to pull through it.
A
A very, very large proportion of the deaths on our roads are as a result of human error, the behavior of drivers, the behavior of other road users.
When you have been given the responsibility of carrying other people, please note that there's a responsibility of life that is put in your hands. And one little action that you do that is against, that you don't observe the laid down rules could cause permanent impacts on the lives of other people.
There are some major reasons that result in accidents in Kenya. They include overspeeding, drunk driving, poor observation of road rules, poor demarcation of roads, livestock and wildlife, and poor lighting. Research shows that in Kenya, availability of basic trauma care is highly deficient.
Post-crash care has a lot to do with the aftermath of crashes. You'll find that along the highways, so many people get injured, but they don't get the attention because you don't have ready ambulances, you don't have people that are trained in communities, and you don't have facilities that are helpful for people. So the process of healing went from being hospitalized for several months to getting out and trying to get rehabilitated through physiotherapy, through occupational therapy, and that's a whole lot process that takes a lot of time and a lot of resources.
The accidents happen in a split of a second. And when it does, many people survive the crash itself. Then if the support doesn't come in time, that's when it becomes really tragic.
When the accident occurs, people don't know how they should do. Some people think they are helping you, and yet they are making the matters worse. They don't know how to, the first aid they should give people, especially people with a spine injury.
We look at the post-crash care from the time of scene of the crash to the hospital and also rehabilitation. And as you all know, that golden hour is really critical for survival of the patient of the post-crash care.
For a spinal cord injury victim, if anything has to be done, it has to be within the first 48 hours. The senses are intact.
The first few hours after the accident are very important because if the injured person is not handled carefully, they could end up being paralyzed or they could die.
The Vlad Dansiu Memorial Foundation, in partnership with Makindu Singh Hospital, are putting up a trauma center, the first of its kind in Kenya.
So the idea was that we had a hospital in Makindu which was underutilized, and we thought we would revamp that and help people with that. We currently also support a lot of people who get injured there, but we wanted to upgrade that facility. So this was a good mix with the foundation. And so the foundation will be a part of the hospital, which will have an accident and emergency wing. And we will stabilize the patients there and move them to a hospital in Nairobi or the county hospital in Wote so that we can save lives, we can help prevent some of these long-lasting effects of post-trauma. This will be like a model trauma center where we will train people from other counties on how to handle road traffic accidents. We would get the trauma experts from Nairobi, from the University of Nairobi, Aga Khan Hospital, Moi Teaching Hospital and all, and bring experts from outside to teach how to handle trauma cases.
The Vlad Dansiu Memorial Foundation contributes to the prevention efforts to avoid unnecessary road accident deaths in Kenya. They are achieving this through establishment of trauma centers, acquisition of ambulances for first aid and transportation of injured to the nearest health facilities, supporting road accident victims through around-the-clock contact center and helpline, providing legal support to road accident victims and their families, and contributing to the campaigns on road safety in Kenya.
I miss doing things on myself. I miss being independent. I can't do anything on my own. I have to have someone around me all the time.
You become a burden, not somebody who can be dependent on, but rather they think you'll be depending on them in everything.
The first medic who looked at the X-ray exclaimed, "I have never seen anything like this. This is total injury on the spinal cord." That was shocking to me because he was talking casually like that. Because I expected that probably they should have sat me down first and explained to me what that means.
The road crash that was one single incident has affected my life every day. I still need to do physiotherapy to date, which is a couple of years after the date of the crash, which is an expense.
It's very difficult to be a charitable foundation in Kenya. I hope that you will join us because we have a lot to do, a lot to do, and we need your help. Let's stop together the carnage in Kenya.